Hello, everyone. We are here with the TSDL Round of 8 game. We're going to be watching Chung versus Myeu. I'll be honest, I don't know how to say that name. I'm going to go with Myeu for now, though. So I am here. I'm joined by Kata. Say hello, Kata.
Hello.
And we're just going to jump right into it. So we're on Floating Courtyard is the map. And we have Myeu first, Chung second. Alright, we have Hildebrand, Rosenband, Landius pick from Myeu is where we're at right now. No Jugler on Myu's side is actually a bit interesting. Chung's side, it's a bit more like you'd expect. Akka's a little bit out of place here compared to standard meta box, but you have Hilda, Jugler, Burn is a very common trio to see.
Yeah, neither players are running 3 tanks. Both have seemed to pretty much embrace the really aggressive meta we're in. D-Lit on Chung is probably the only weird thing in his box, other than Akaya, like you said.
Yeah, I didn't notice the D-Lit. That is... Luna's a little bit odd as well. Luna with the Akaya, he's wanting to be a bit more aggressive, I suppose. But, I don't know, he doesn't really have the traditional aggressive feeling units.
Yeah, it sort of just looks like a bunch of OP units slapped together.
Yeah. That's a good box, honestly.
It is.
And yeah, it's technically 2 tank, but really it's 3 tank. Burn does a fairly good job of off tanking if you need him to. So if you're up against a bunch of physical units, Burn can pretty reliably handle that. So that's why I think this 2 tank style has been pretty popular, because Burn covers you if you are in trouble as a result of your tanks.
Yeah, you pretty much just ban Lucretia first, and then, I mean, it depends on what they pick, but you can usually ban T-Jess after that. There's not a lot of people going around first picking T-Jess, and after that, Burn's very safe, generally.
Yep. Speak of the devil, Lucretia first pick, Burn second. There it is. It's a very common pick ban to see. It's a very strong pick ban.
Yeah, I mean, Elwyn is threatening to Burn, and Bernhardt is actually threatening to Burn. Helena, not so much.
Yeah, honestly, Bernhardt does a better job of threatening a Burn than Elwyn does. Because into Elwyn, you can just bring green troops. Werewolves do plenty well for Burn into Elwyn. He's really just not that scared of Elwyn.
The main thing is the heal block and the guard dispel. I
Right.
mean, the guard dispels everybody. But he's going to be dead to follow up after that, and Ellen can follow up on him pretty easily.
You get a Bozel pick with that shiny new 3C. Not a lot of good dispelling on Chung's side to deal with that. Flow is, well, I guess with the new weapon, Flow is actually pretty good at dispelling.
She can dispel 5 debuffs in 1 turn, which is pretty damn good.
5 debuffs on a single unit, and then 3 4 AoE. It's still susceptible to getting overwhelmed by Bozel, though. It's just double 3C is so much pressure. Bernhardt now, especially if Bernhardt gets to start with a sword dance and force out your flow heal, and then Bozel lands, then you're just, at that point, you're just kind of dead.
Yeah, if you don't have Mass Protect versus this, I mean, even if Chung picks D-Lit here, it's not enough to heal through this at all. You're just dead. You need Mass Protect to prevent the heal block if you want to try and take this. So it's going to come down to, can Chung engage first and kill Myeu before he gets AoE to death?
Right. And he does have these 2 drivers of Luna Akka still available, but it's kind of an issue of there's not really a good way to kill Myeu through this Landius, especially with either Licorice or Leanna last pick. Right, you can get a little bit of AoE damage with like your Burn if you don't go tank, or with Lucretia, but that's just going to get healed off.
That'd also be tankless versus Helena, which is not ideal.
Especially not as player 2. So I'd be very surprised to see this Burn not bring guard.
You can bring parry, but that's still pretty awkward. It looks like Chung wants to try and heal through it, which it's really tough. ever since Bulldog got his 3C because it does so much more damage.
Right, it does more damage. It has 0 cooldown, so he just spams it. Now he can run Breeze instead of Clock, so he's able to get to you faster.
Probably the one thing working for Chung is how this map works. You can block off Bernhardt from reaching a bunch of the back line, and then you can put your Gospel units up front, so that could be good.
That is true. You do only have 1 Gospel to go around. I guess you could bring Shield.
You can always Sea of Miracles and Gospel again, and then just dip D-Lit back out, but that would preclude having a unit in the danger zone, which might be difficult, actually.
Right. I have Licorice for Myeu as the last pick. Licorice is a very good healer now, especially Bozal providing faction buff.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to see Lico's heal numbers are just so massively higher than pretty much everybody else other than Rosin. But I mean, it's just because she AoE heals every single turn.
Right. And Myeu just did not care at all about these drivers from Chung's side. Leaves both of them open for last pick. We will get the Luna in.
I feel like Akaya would have been better there.
Maybe. Akaya is very hard to use with Deedlit.
Yeah.
Because you're very likely to just lose the buff as you want to engage. Luna gives you a faction buff to help with that. Make that a little more consistent. I don't know.
I was just thinking Akaya would help the all-in, but I mean, I don't know if an all-in from Chung is enough, like an AoE all-in with Burn and Lucretia is enough to kill Myeu anyway through Licorice. I mean, she should just bring Fast Protect and she's fine.
Right. Yeah, I think Chung's gonna struggle this game.
I feel like the D-Lit pick really sealed the deal here. That's probably what I would have changed.
Trying to think back to what his options were when he picked that Deedlit.
You can look at the ban list in order. So it was Kruger Ares, I think?
There's no way that's in order, because
Oh.
Deedlit over Ares is...
It's definitely in order.
No, I think it was... it might have been Elwyn TGS available at that point. I feel like there's no way you pick Deedlit over Ares in this scenario. I mean, maybe with the burn. Like over Ares over Kruger, really?
I would definitely say Ares or Kruger are a better choice than D-Lit because just trying to outlast Myu's composition is not going to work.
Yep. Well, here we go. Let's check some equipment real quick. We have Blood Pact there. Nothing out of the ordinary there. Swordsmith. No Swordsmith on the Licorice. But yeah, it is pure support Licorice. You're gonna get nothing through this. There's the guard on Bernhardt. No Swordsmith on Luna. I wonder what this Luna is. Maybe Veil.
Oh yeah, I mean it has to be Veil. That's the only other choice.
Yep. And then we do have exclusive on the flow, so no Tenyos there. Glory here. There's no Tenyos on Chung's side whatsoever, so no Tenyos win condition to happen. On this side, could be a Tenyos on the Bozal. The magic defense looks pretty low for Swordsmith Bozal, so I'd suspect a Tenyos here. Tenyos here is pretty obvious. No, it's not Tenyos, it's Hat. It's one Tenyos maybe.
I like how you're getting a Tenyo count just to determine the RNG.
It's very much a win condition. I think it's more a win condition on Chung's side, which makes it kind of a shame that he doesn't have any. Full single target Lucretia is actually going to try and burn through this Landius. But I mean, she's going to do it pretty much by herself.
Yeah, Luna brought buff, right?
No. Luna brought Raging Thunder. We don't have a mass attack, so I guess this Gospel's going to Luna. Then Deedlit doesn't have it.
No, Luna doesn't care about the Gospel.
Right.
She just doesn't have a buff.
She just doesn't have a buff. You are correct.
I don't think that's gonna kill Landius from 100%, but I guess he might not be 100% because Liko's the only healer.
I mean, I don't think it would kill with a buff from 100%. Luna damage
Yeah.
is not the best.
I mean, it's Templars. I don't know.
Yeah, it is Templars, I suppose, but also 19k HP.
This is probably a bit out of her range, yeah.
Yeah. And with Licorice here having protect and resist, and there's just basically no opportunity for you to get like a cursed lance cheese to try and pick up a kill. It's just gonna be very, very hard.
I haven't seen a cursed lance cheese since like season 3.
That's because no one's used Luna since season 3.
Yeah. She had like a brief resurgence, I want to say, in season 5 or something. I don't remember the context. I think it was around when T-Jess came out. People were trying to help tank T-Jess with Luna, something like that.
I mean, that's very similar to the reason why she's kind of coming back now, is to help tank the mage trio.
Other than that, pretty much only have seen her in Rush, and then she's only there to provide +2 mobility. So
Right.
she does like nothing else, and therefore she's a worse Akaya. And I don't even think first banning Akaya is that good these days.
Oh, this is not a Tenyo's Bozel, by the way. No Tenyo's buffs on either of the units near him. So it's just a little bit low magic defense, I guess.
Could be Steel. HP does look a little bit low for that, but I mean, if it's Dark Crown or Soul Stealer, then I guess it makes more sense. 11k with Steel sounds about right. I have seen like 2+2 Bogles with that much HP though, so.
Yeah. So the end result is we have no idea what this Bozel is actually on.
I think Sorks would have been good on Liko. They're really nice to occupy those center tiles.
Yeah, you don't really have anything to punish you for going Sorks to give you a reason to go Crystals. Right, Crystal's only gonna help protect you against like the Bernhardt and the Luna, who are very likely not hitting this Licorice at any point this game.
Yeah, and Sorks can actually do some pretty good auto attack damage too, especially because that Liko isn't Bracer, which is something probably Chung should keep in mind for next ban pick.
Yes. With no transform, the Liko damage is going to be less useful though. You don't get that massive damage up anymore.
You know, I never thought that's why Liko does so much freaking damage with Sorks. It's because she's giving them like 50% damage bonus. Jeez.
Depending on the Liko, I think my Liko gives 70% damage bonus.
Is that Crystal? Because that's what I got.
Crystal, double, heal, heal weapon, heal access. No, I don't have healing weapon, so it's only, what, 55 then?
She has 20%, so yeah.
Yeah, it's 20% there, 20% crystal, 15 heal accessory. It adds up very quickly.
Oh, I'm 40% then. I have my whale bracer on her.
Selena... Oh, actually, Liko tiles kind of being a little bit counterproductive, deleting Helena tiles.
Liko's old news. Look, Death. Liko's the only thing us tank push players have, okay? She is so important for tank push.
For certain.
Oh, you mean the new Liko? Yeah. She looks good, but I wouldn't say she's really similar to Liko at all.
Yeah, there's the Breeze Bozel. There he is. Found him.
Yeah, Breeze makes sense now.
Yes.
I'm gonna remember that's that range.
Is a little bit on the low end, but
That defense is really high for Breeze. It's almost 700. So yeah, it's just Myu's focused more on having a bulky Bozo.
Yep. It definitely is. It's a fairly bulky Bozo. It's not as insane as like Will underscores Bozo is ridiculous. But it's definitely better than a lot.
And even that Bozo can still die to Kira sometimes.
Yes. Yeah, Kyra still shreds Bozo. Especially if you get crit.
It's actually just really hard to meet the threshold of not dying to 20 faceless ticks. But I don't think Kira one-tick swords. That seems unreasonable.
Right, but then you get hit by Faceless and then just...
Yeah.
Faceless again. If you're full HP and Faceless, you're just gonna get slaughtered. Alright, here comes the Wind God Realm. Lots of mobility on this Lucretia right now. But all she can really do with it is just go throw her face into this Landius and hope that it works. She can't get the magic defense reduction off 3C though, thanks to Shield. Or Protect.
I suppose she can get a free hit and then still swap back into guard range, I think, with both Lucretia and the puppet.
Oh, for certain. She can easily take a safe hit, it's just that it doesn't really do much. Maybe you can set it up so that you get your free hit now and then on the next turn you're able to kill the Landius. But you have to get through all of Lico healing to do that.
Yeah, Chung can move last, and if I'm looking at it right, she should be able to hit Landius and then swap with her puppet, and both the puppet and Lucretia should still be able to be in guard range. The thing is, I just don't think it'll kill Landius.
No, you're not going to kill Landius with the first hit, especially not with the immunity to magic defense reduction.
Chung actually did something interesting. I'm pretty sure he put battle support on Lico, and it is King's Crown on her.
Yeah, he did put battle support on Lucretia, so she does have a little bit of extra attack. She has the Luna exclusive 15% damage up.
Yeah.
It's not quite King's Crown. Like, it's a lot of damage ups, but you're still going through Templars with essentially no debuffs.
Wouldn't 3C put debuffs on?
You don't get the magic defense debuff because of Protect. That's the only one that really matters.
Well, no, I was just thinking for Sork Mage deck.
That's true. That is true. Oh, nope, we're getting Sword Dance first. That's not happening. Yikes, that's a lot of damage. That's a Helena follow-up if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, excuse me. They just might, or Lucretia might just be dead, and Luna too.
I think Lucretia and Luna are both just dead.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit reliant on getting some good Blood Sword RNG, but I have a feeling these units are both just dead here. Because Flo can dispel the heal block, but then all she can do is heal troops after that. Deedwick could dispel the heal block and then attack the burn, and you could get some gift healing. Alright, Lucretia's gonna run away, so she's gonna be safe. Burn does drop to that.
Yeah, that Sword Dance might have been premature. There's no real way to punish Lucretia now.
No, but Helena might just kill the Bernhardt from this HP.
Yeah, actually.
Steel mains are broken at this point.
Yeah, Luna will die too, so I think it's okay.
Right, it's still 2 for 2 from there. And at that point, it's full mages versus Helena. Who's gonna kill Helena?
Nobody.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, here we go. Bird dies. Bye-bye. Although not quite positioned to actually get the kill on Luna, so Luna lives with 600.
Needed a blood sword.
Yep. And actually, Helena might just drop to like D-lit attack here. Or you could have heal act again, Lucretia. Hit the Helena.
You can just burn Sea of Miracles and should kill her, but I mean, how do you deal with Bozal?
Helena lost the reinforcements off of Burn Dispel. That's why her angels are only at 5% right now. She didn't get any healing post-combat. That definitely hurts a lot. And the Bozal's not really in range to do anything right now. Even with the breeze, he's still too far away. But the issue is just going to be Bozal, Licorice, Landius. Nothing can kill any of those units. And then Bozal just 3Cs on top of you a couple times in a row.
Yeah, there's just no good way to get through Lando at this point. And I mean, if you burn Sea of Miracles here, then there's especially no way to get through Landia. Or not Sea of Miracles, Elvenora.
There's Elvenora. There goes the Helena.
To me, it now seems like Chung's only condition is to just stall as long as possible and try to get D-lit stuff up again.
It's a long way away.
Yes it is.
You can act again here to make that a little bit shorter, but oh boy, are you waiting a long time for that.
And Sea of Miracles will help too. It's something like 3 turns, I want to say. 3 D-lit actions, but you'd have to act again every time you could. And Luna should reduce the Bozal damage a lot here, actually.
That is true. This Luna surviving was actually huge. I kind of expected Myeu to attack the Bernhardt from below to explode on Luna as well. And then you would have actually picked up the Luna.
Yeah, maybe a little greedy.
Yeah, because just having that aura, having that extra unit here is definitely very good for Chung.
Yeah, because I mean, Lucretia just keeps getting repeated hits on this Landius, and she will chip him down eventually. Lico's good at healing against AoE, not so good at healing against the target, especially when you have Crystal Warlocks.
Yeah. Gospel to Lucretia, who's the most important unit here, just wants to make sure none of these Bozal debuffs land on her. Especially don't want to get silenced.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I do actually think it was a mistake for Chung to not act again D-lit last turn. Just, you want to get D-lit her Gospel and Sea of Miracles up as soon as possible. It's really important to have these units Gospel.
Yeah. Luna just barely survives again. Single target Bozal 3C there was a bit odd, I'll say. Anti-heal though means that she's not coming back. You can just 3C her with the Bozal and you will get her next turn. But then your Bozal's going to be a little bit out of position.
Chung probably does need to worry about this a bit, though. He does need to get some healing on Luna. Battle support won't do it. He can. The only choice is actually to act again Luna, and hope Florentia purges anti-heal. Otherwise, she's dead to Bozal.
Yeah, potentially. Dark Reaper, not quite going to cut it. Good damage, though.
Pretty damn close, though. Like, it's weird that this Lico is Genius Staff and Holy, but I guess it's not that weird.
You don't really lose anything by being Holy, Lucretia.
Oh yeah, there's another thing. The puppet. The cooldowns for D-Lit. It's actually a really nice combo.
Yeah, Diva has Act Again available, can move in, act again, get a gospel back.
And then she'll have Sea of Miracles up for the next Bozo AoE.
Heal Block did not get dispelled there, though. So we're just going to take the first life of Landius here.
Yeah, that's fair. But gospel drops? Yeah. Oh, no? Okay.
Nope, it is a plushy Deedwit, so gospel is still up.
I was about to say, it has to be fleshy or it should be down.
Alright, that's one life on this Lando.
Yeah, it actually looks tough here for Myeu somehow.
Yeah, he's actually in a lot of trouble here. Lando is about to drop, and then it becomes Bozel's job to win the game alone.
I mean, you can yeet Bozel, AoE everybody, Lando dies still, and then there's no follow-up. Maybe Deedlit gets silenced or something.
Right. But yeah, Bozel having already used his 3C once here is actually kind of bad for Myeu. If this here was the first time he was using 3C, then it would actually be, he'd be in a pretty good spot, because like you heal with Licorice here. When the Lucretia kills your Landius, her Gospel goes away. And then you can try and make something happen with Bozel maybe. But now you're only going to get one 3C, and then you're going to have a turn of downtime. And that might be all the window that Chung needs to just take this game away.
Yeah, I mean, Luna will die, but I don't think you can get through the Lucretia after that.
Oh, Luna's just going to kill herself here. Goodbye.
Ow.
Well, that happened. Did not expect the mirror armor there. Chung did not realize that Landius was mirror armor and just kind of killed himself.
To be fair, there was like no way you could know that, so.
No, there's absolutely no way to tell. But that is quite the unfortunate revelation. Because he wanted to get just a little bit of extra chip in with that Luna.
I think it'll be alright. Lando's still dead. No reason to gospel Lucretia there. Deedlit should have gospeled herself.
I think he just wants to make sure Gospel stays on Lucretia after this Bozel AoE. Or after Lucretia kills Landius, so the Bozel can't do anything to her.
Is that a flow bracer?
Excellent question. It is not.
Relevant information for band pick again.
Yes. Alright, Bozel's gonna all in here, hit everyone with that 3C. Silences are good. Kind of. Didn't silence the Deedlit. Bit unfortunate there. Does get the silence on Flow, though. Silence, heal block, and burn on Flow. Ouch.
Yeah.
Passive block on Puppet is actually huge. Passive block on Puppet slows this Lucretia down, makes her come all the way into you. Scepter though, so she doesn't get countered, but that's not enough damage to kill.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I was thinking you act again Deedlit, you melee attack Bozel, and then you try to kill Bozel with Lucretia.
Can't act again Deedlit. Flow is silenced.
She can't use those skills once she's silenced? Okay.
Nope. Flow really does not want to get silenced. That is why you see so many swordsmiths on her.
I've never ran anything but bracer on her, so.
Yep. You really don't want to be silenced.
But Bozel does have a turn of downtime. Perhaps Chung can regroup. I gotta say, Chung's been playing on one backup time for a really long time. It's rough stuff.
Yeah, not a lot of time to think. Landius is going to be able to just move up and guard both of these units, though, so Bozel's turn of downtime isn't really going to matter. There's no buff anymore for this Lucretia. She has no hope of killing. Actually, Diva just drops to Bozel instead.
I feel like he could have just killed the Deedlit with Landius, but it's okay.
Maybe, but not safely. Ooh, Landius actually does drop to that, though.
Free strike, very strong.
Yeah. And since he killed that Deedlit, he doesn't have a buff on his Bozal anymore. So the Bozal is a little bit more vulnerable. All skills available on Lucretia. It looks like, is that... Yep, she still has immunity from Gospel, so you're still not debuffing her. RNG time, baby. This Flo is in a lot of trouble, though. Licorice can potentially just kill her if Chung waits to try and last action with Lucretia.
Maybari says, should have AoE'd there and killed the Flo, or even tried to silence her, maybe she doesn't die, and I totally agree with that. I think that was Myu's only chance right there. You can still kill Flo here, but I mean, Bozal will die for it.
It actually looks like Chung's going to position to not allow that to happen. Yeah.
That's very nice.
That out.
Yeah, that's very nice. Oh, yeah, very nice.
And with no transform, you don't really have to worry about Lucretia dying to an auto attack from Licco. Even with transform, it's very likely that wouldn't be enough.
Yeah,
that's just not that high.
That AoE really had to happen. Just Flo can just regroup now and just act again.
Yeah, Flo's gonna act against Lucretia, and you're gonna kill. That'll kill the Bozal. I think you needed to heal Bozal there, but if you couldn't get him to 100%, it wouldn't matter. Flo AoE happens anyway, so he's not gonna be 100%. Yeah, you're always dead to this Lucretia.
Yeah, I think just AoE and Flo should die. You could even single target the Flo, honestly.
Right.
If you wanted to be super sure.
And then you just try and outlast with Licorice at that point. Down goes Bozal. And this Licorice is just not going to be able to do it by herself.
I was going to say, is she going to die for just attacking?
Just barely doesn't. Yeah, there we go. That is game one. Going to Chung. Just barely.
Played very well under pressure.
Yes. On 1 second that entire time. Played very well under that clock pressure. Every turn the numbers were popping up on his screen.
I don't even notice the numbers, honestly, when I get on backup time. I don't know how, considering they're giant flashing numbers on my screen, but...
Alright, let's see if we get any box shakeups here.
And from what I've seen in TSDL this season, most people are not swapping their boxes very much, which I can sort of see why, because I think at the top level these days, a lot of the boxes are very similar, with maybe 2 to 3 units of difference. I've been tallying it up a lot, and the thing that makes these units so good is that they're also versatile and can support many different strategies in band pick, which obfuscates what you're going for, right? And
right.
So you don't have to swap.
Yeah, there's not much point in bringing in units from the backup box, because all the units that are in your box fill any roles that your backup could bring. We do see a couple assassins coming for Chung. Actually, Kruger comes out, so even more aggressive tilt from Chung.
Pretty good Lusty map. I wouldn't say it's one of her best, but it's good.
Yep, she definitely has a lot of mobility. It's very hard for units to not be snipeable.
I think the main problem with Lusty yeah, I don't know about that, but the main problem with Lusty on this map is this map's one of the easiest to block off. You can do it with only 3 units, and that makes Lusty very sad. And especially where you're blocking off, it's hard for her to get grassland sometimes and forests.
Right. See a Sherry first ban out of Chung. Rosin first pick, so shut down any AoE options that Myeu could have. But again, these units are super flexible. They can just go single target at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you pick Luke, or Myeu picks Luke, then you wouldn't have to ban Bozal Kruger instead. And Bernhardt too, I suppose. But Bernhardt's bad to tank push. Bad for tank push, rather.
Mhm.
More specifically, the tank push player.
Yep. And Myeu does not want to see any assassins this game. If Chung wants an assassin, he needs to pick the Werner now, but for the same reason why this map can be awkward for Illustrial, it can be even more awkward for Werner. Just easy to block off, hard for Werner to actually get around to those targets. You see Hilda mirrors. Hilda Rosin, very good defensively. That's going to be tough to break from Myeu. Hilda takes all the single targets. Rosin stops any AoEs and debuffing. So I wonder how Myu's going to try and break through that.
Just pick your own Rosin.
I have World Arena.
Yes, we're playing World Arena today.
Oh, Lord. Double Hilda Rosin. Everyone just walks to the center and stands there.
Whoever rolls passive seal wins. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to pick in Myu's position, honestly, because it's gonna. Like you said, there's not really a good way to break this. So you could match it.
Yeah.
You could also have something that is really impossible to break.
I honestly think that that's Myu's best pick here is just match the Hilda Rosin stall comp, because you're not going to get through it, right? Bernhardt's okay, but Bernhardt's not going to one-shot a Hilda.
He can. It depends on the Hilda and what happens with Hegemony and what Bern also has. But there's not a lot these days. There's not a lot of damage up buffs in people's boxes. It's pretty much just Rosin, which he could now pick.
That's true. We could just have a mirror match here. We're looking.
Oh
we're rapidly approaching a mirror match.
At least the last couple picks should be different.
Maybe, unless they're both Elwyn Flow. Let's see, do we have the Rosin? Do we go stall? Stall versus stall.
I guess one reason to not pick Rosin here would be that you get forced into double healer last pick.
That is true.
But you already are, though, kind of, with Liko in your box in this situation.
Liko can at least flex to AoE, though, so she doesn't have to... Right, you can bring Dark Dragon Breath 3C transform, and then you're a viable AoE unit. So we do have Bozil, who's going to try and burn through the Rosin. With 3C, Bozil can do okay into Rosin. Would really like a second debuffer to really make that work.
Yeah, and we're probably going to see Helena Liko ban. Oh, no, okay. Helena can chew through Rosin stacks pretty quickly.
Yep.
Liko a bit less so.
Myeu definitely needs to pick a healer here, though. This is a stall game. Yeah, there we go. There's the Liana.
I respect the flow ban. Doesn't want act again shenanigans. There's a Bernhardt. Juggler, also annoying if there's ever a situation where he gets on top of Hilda with B-Shock, or if he just moves back on top of Hilda with B-Shock after getting rammed off, then could be tough. Bernhardt can kill a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, is actually Jugler would have been a very strong fourth pick from Chung.
Yeah, Luna feels weak, but I guess, I mean, the thing is, with Rosin, Bozil's not really going to be doing much damage anyway, so you don't really need Luna. And the mobility, I guess it helps you get into center faster.
Yeah. Alright, we do have Bozil plus Licorice, so you can get some debuffs through this Rosin and try and make some things stick. Just cross your fingers and pray that they're good enough. This Liko needs to be offensive, though. If Myeu brings a defensive Licorice here, then they're very likely just out of the game at that point.
Ellen's also a pretty good last pick. I mean, it's not like he's going to do much to the Hilda herself, but Dispelling Guard is always relevant, and it forces the tank push player to sit in plus formation with most of their units, so it's really hard for Myeu to move up, whereas Chung can just move into the center and sit there.
Right. And if Elwyn's able to dispel a Cav transform on Hilda, then all of a sudden Bernhardt damage becomes much more relevant.
I mean, hell, Elwyn could even bring like maids here.
That's true. I've seen it happen.
I saw a Highland Warrior Helena kill a Hilda today.
Wild.
She was injured, but yeah.
Okay.
And she swapped a Cav.
Okay. I mean, I've killed an injured Helena with Alfred before. Or
Alfred
not
actually
Helena, injured Hilda. Killed
Alfred
Hilda
actually
like 80% with Alfred.
He actually does some pretty thick damage, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was a fun day.
He has like, what, 1900 attack or something?
Something like that. It gets up pretty high.
And I mean, 2 times skill mod is not low. Alfred's sort of like better Barash now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, Alfred doesn't actually have Aqua Blast, so he doesn't get the 2 times.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
But 3C is like 1.8. But anyways, this game, I have Templars on the Hilda from Chung, I guess for basic attack from this Licorice and Bozal. Phalanxes on Myu's side. Phalanx is going to be pretty good into the Steel Mains. This Luna brought Mass Resist. Not Faction Buff, Mass Resist. I guess he really wants those immunities.
Yeah, I mean, Luna's gonna be useless anyway, so fair enough. I won't fault it.
In other news, today I learned Luna has Mass Resist.
Yeah, it's from her Unicorn Knight tier 2.
Huh. Actually, Licorice is carrying the faction buff here for Myeu. Bozal opting to bring Black Hole instead. I guess since Bozal can get more debuffs out in a single burst to try and burn through these rosin stacks. Insta breeze.
Yeah, that's really tough still though. Like you at that point you really need Liko to clock.
It is worth noting though, with exclusive, the Licorice can keep faction buff up very easily. Cooldown is very low, so you can just keep buffing.
The thing about Bozal carrying buff is that he has downtime anyway, and he usually just casts his buff in downtime if you set it up right.
Right. Although with Black Hole you get, what, 4 consecutive turns of massive debuffing AoEs? Because you go 3C, 3C, Black Hole, 3C. That's not a lot of downtime.
That's true. And I mean, yeah, Bozal will definitely be the better person to burn through the stack, so I guess Myu's plan here has to be to AoE a bunch with Bozal, don't cast Dark Despair with Liko, wait till the rosin stacks are burned through, and then Liko can Dark Despair along with Bozal doing whatever. That seems like the play.
Yeah, so we're gonna try and overwhelm this rosin here. This early breeze also means that Bozal can get in there very quickly to start on that job.
Ultimately limited by Hilda's range, but I mean, Luna can... Oh, never mind.
I mean, limited, yes, but he's literally already able to 3C the entire team sans Rosin. But if Rosin moves up, then yep, there we go. He can 3C every single person here already.
Rosin did bring... Yeah, she brought 3C.
She did bring 3C, yes.
Okay, so I think Chung is being a bit disrespectful of this debuff AoE comp. I think the better thing to do is to...
Gale Proc. Continue.
Probably just stay far back. You want to build Rosin stacks and have Mass Crystal Healing up for after they engage. Now it's going to be down for 2 turns. 1 Bozal AoE wipes it. Rosin 3Cs. Another Bozal AoE wipes it, and now Rosin doesn't have any stats.
Right.
So I think he needed to wait for Mass Crystal Healing to be up, and now it's risky.
And as soon as those stacks go down, you know this Bernhardt's going to run in and Sword Dance. The instant that they drop.
And then there's Liko to combo off of it too.
Right.
I actually like Sky Archer here. I think Myeu just brought it just to like occupy center tiles.
Actually, Sky Archer here is to answer Sword Dance from Bernhardt.
Oh yeah.
If Bernhardt Sword Dances, you dispel it off and then heal with Liana. Sky Archer is actually a very good pick here. Now this Bernhardt actually brought Hegemony instead.
It's just how the Sky Archer ended up being used because Burn brought Hegemony, yeah. Right. It's good insulation, I agree. I do bring that. And Mass Protect on Liana is a bit iffy in this against Burn because he can just wait. It has a turn of downtime.
Right. No, this Sky Archer is actually very, very good. Hilda faction buff here on Myu's side is kind of unnecessary. I guess you're not going to get a stun with Route, but like you could bring Dominating Formation for the same reason that Chung brought Dominating Formation.
Yeah, no, Dominating Formation would be really good because that one might dispel your guard.
Right. Dominating Formation here also stops Licorice from transforming on top of it.
It's actually a nice play.
Licorice cannot transform on that. Alright, first hit into the Hilda. It does not all of the Phalanx's health.
What if she had Griffins?
Yeah, she also would have like gone to 50% if she had Griffins.
But what does it matter?
True. Alright. I imagine we see... Do we see Bozel 3C? Do we see maybe Licorice 3C to heal the Hilda up? In respect to the Bernhardt that's coming in? I'd be tempted to just Bozel 3C. You're gonna get some debuffs through these Rosin stacks, so you might be able to slow down this Bernhardt. If he does look to come in, you know, you have the Cav transform, so he's probably not killing you anyways.
I mean, Bozel could even silence Bernhardt here.
Nope, we're just gonna have Bernhardt smacking Hilda and doing basically nothing.
She's on a fort. Yeah.
Yep. We get some extra damage. A little bit of chill on the Luna.
I like Bozel 3C there. You do have a chance to silence the burn, then Rosin might not remove it. She does remove one debuff when she uses 3C. And the other thing is it'll force Rosin to 3C right after that. It's from her talent.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And you could, I guess, no, I can see where Myu's coming from. You want to save... Liana act again until Bozel can AoE twice in a row with no stats.
Right.
And you won't be able to do that this turn if you go in right now. So it's not a bad idea to make Rosin move last, because you can just move Bozel last.
That's true. I'd still be tempted though to just 3C Bozel here, act again Bozel, 3C Bozel again after the Rosin does a thing.
There's no follow-up on that, but yeah.
You have Licorice there.
She can't reach tiles.
She can transform right behind Hilda and be okay. Alright, there goes the transform. Guard is gone as well, so this burn is going to do a lot of damage at this point. To Myu's Hilda, that is. Unless we see Liana heal the Hilda.
You can move one tile left with Bozel and burn can't reach. I think. The tile above Elwyn and Sky?
Correct. Yes. But Burn should be able to run around the bottom and hit Hilda from below. Thanks to Luna Aura.
Oh, right.
Oh no, Licorice! Oh, okay, she's just using Healing Dark Despair. I thought for a moment that she was trying to transform on top of Dominating Formation. Alright, so Hilda gets healed up a little bit, 76.
Yeah, I don't think... I guess... Burn doesn't kill Hilda if she goes to 50%. He doesn't do enough damage. And so I think you don't need to kill Hilda there. It's probably better to just let Hilda die and save Liko's turn. I do think leaving Liana is fine.
Ooh, actually Burn doesn't attack though. Because he couldn't attack from inside of guard, so even if he takes a life off Hilda there, if he dies to Bozel, you're kind of in bad shape. And we have 3C. Goodbye, Rosin stacks.
And
oh, silence on the Rosin.
Oh man.
Oh no. Oh, you do not want to see that.
I was gonna say, Myeu, I really feel like he should have moved Leah first, but not punished.
This game's over. This game's over at this point.
Yes.
This Rosin is dead for another turn. Those stacks are not coming back.
Yeah, this is what I was saying with, I think Chung was being a bit disrespectful of this team.
Yep.
Even if you have Rosin,
for everyone.
Even if you have Rosin, you still wanna, make sure everybody has 5 stacks when you engage, and ideally Mass Crystal Healing is off cooldown or 1 away from it.
Passive block on the burn, so he's gonna do nothing when he attacks. Frontal Assault. Ooh, actually, Frontal Assault's really good here. You already dispelled the guard, now you have passive blocks. This Hilda's actually not guarding anything. Downside of not bringing a second guard skill on this Hilda.
Yeah.
That's
Usually
actually a really good tech.
Usually if you have Bernhardt faction buff, you can ditch buff on Hilda unless she's buffing a Tensei unit, which she isn't buffing Liko.
Sword Dance. Bonk. And bonk. Okay, good damage on everyone. Some heal blocks to spread around. But yeah, Bozil is just completely fine here. There's so many damage downs on this Bernhardt. He has no hope of killing there.
He was injured. I think he lost an attack buff from somewhere.
He does still have his attack buff, but he was injured. He was attack down. Or no, he's damage down. I think his werewolf tech was broken. Silences to go around again. Rosin gets silenced again. So that's 2 more turns. Everyone's weak at this point. Elwyn's the only one who's not silenced here. Rosin just kills herself into Bozil. Yeah, and that's going to be it. Yeah, I think you're 100% correct that Chung had the Rosin and it kind of went to his head against the debuff comp. And so he full sent it on the first turn and then got punished for it.
He even had a Luna, so there's like no way that Myeu could have killed him.
And we're back to the sky map.
I swear, some days map RNG seems seated.
Alright, it's time for Chung's backup box to go back to the backup box.
Yeah, Werner not great on this map for sure.
Illustrial also not great.
Yeah, I would dare to say she's terrible.
I would dare to agree.
I've won with her once on this map, and twice. It was because somebody put a unit in range of the grassland in the center, which is you just don't. And the other was D-Lit.
Yep. Ugh.
I wish all I got a sky map. I'm a stall player.
Sky map only map. There are 2 maps in this game, sky map and desert map. Everything else is a myth.
I like desert map.
Of course you do.
Yes. I love those pillars. They're great. So easy to block units. Myeu actually isn't that bad on desert map, I think. And I think she's actually good on sky map. Like, good.
If you're not using her as a healer, then if you're using her aggressively, then she's okay on those maps because you can just teleport to center. If you're using her as a healer, she is not, because she only heals when she's on grass.
Yeah.
Alright, see you later, Rustral. Actually, Werner does stay in.
He's not You just don't really expect him to be an assassin on this map. He can still be a mobility booster and an attack buff, but you already have a Kaya.
I think it's time for Royal Gav's defensive stance Werner to just hold a point. I think that's what's gonna happen. Not really, but
it's not a bad strat, honestly.
Yeah, if you're into a bunch of physical, it's honestly a lot better than it sounds.
He has like 30% damage reduction from 3C, right?
I think it's 15.
I'll check. Yeah, it's 15. 30% would be insane. Never mind.
But he does get a counterattack boost, right? In defense.
Yes, he gets plus 20% counter damage.
Yep.
And heal 35% HP every turn, which is part of what makes it a nice strat for stalling.
Right.
And sometimes you just need to outlast.
That's true. I don't think Werner's the unit to do it though.
He definitely can be though. That's the thing.
He can be in very specific scenarios. Alright. Well, Rosin is going to get banned this time. This is a slower map, so especially after the last game, Chung would definitely, if he picked Rosin first, he would definitely take the time to build up those stacks, more so than he did last game. Maybe change up pick ban as well, so like the Bozal isn't there to overwhelm him.
Yeah, I mean, Bozal is the only debuffer in this box that gets through Rosin, so you could just ban the Bozal.
We do have a Sherry first pick. Sherry damage can be questionable at times if you're not running goblins.
Even goblins can be a little iffy. It depends. Like, if you're trying to assassinate mages, Tenyos can always screw you.
Right. If you're going for mages, goblins pretty much guarantees the kill. If you're going for bulkier units, goblins frequently just won't cut it.
Yeah.
Sherry has a really, really hard time assassinating anything with a little bit of bulk on it. Like Bozal. Bozal is going to be hard to kill by Sherry.
She needs some damage buffs, and then she can do it.
Right.
You do need a pretty damn good Sherry, though. Like, I don't know, plus 500 or more.
Yeah, and you have to have an attack buff. Sherry without attack buff just does not do anything. I had a buffless Sherry try to shadow raid my flow earlier today, and I do not run Swordsmith also, and it just didn't do anything. Didn't kill flow.
With goblins?
It was with Angel, so it was just Sherry by herself. But
okay, that makes sense. I was like, there's no way goblins fails that.
It's the kind of kill that you would expect, that you would want her to be able to get, but you really have to have she really needs the buff.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. She does have a pretty decent and surprising kill range from what I've seen. It's just she needs the bells and whistles to achieve it, so it's a little hard in ban pick sometimes.
Right. There's still an Elwyn open though. Elwyn providing that faction buff gives her a lot of what she needs.
Yeah, Elwyn's faction buff is huge for her.
Kyra pick here. I guess it stops the Bernhardt from bringing werewolves, if nothing else.
She does have a buff from Bozal. The buff does not give her any damage. There's no auras for this burn, so there is a chance that this Bernhardt can just straight up die the Kira, just one shot, if she brings swords. We
did see, though, in pick ban that it's an assassin Kyra as opposed to holy, so it's a little bit more questionable from that end.
Nah. She 2-ticks the wolves, and then Sork's kill burn in 20 ticks.
Okay.
Kyra does stupid damage. And she's targeting troops. She's like near one-shotting a lot of troops. She's very close to it.
Do you have a Lucretia pick from Chung? very strong in general. No complaints there. Very, very difficult to assassinate Lucretia.
Yeah, Kira's target against Lucretia was generally the puppet.
Right. But it's very easy to just protect the puppet. Just keep the puppet 3 tiles behind Lucretia at all times, and then it's almost impossible for Kyra to actually hit it.
More reactive after Lucretia's already gone in.
Right. Helena, on the other hand.
Forces Burn to bring guard.
Yes. Helena, a very strong pick here.
Lots of nice chip. Good combo with Bozel.
We do have Kyra on Chung's side with Lucretia. Makes Kyra a lot more consistent. Though if this Leanna brings Sky Archer, then Myeu has the same benefits. Leaves open Ares last pick. I guess if you have the, you have Hilda, you have Kyra, Ares is doing nothing to you.
Yeah, Mia went for the just banning out all the remaining healers, so now Bozel AoE is a pretty big threat. Kira has to gospel herself, and she can remove 3 debuffs, but Myeu has Act Again, and that's 10 debuffs from Bozel, so
right,
it's not really enough. So Chung sort of has to go all in now and somehow kill Myeu, I think.
Right. Kyra does a good job of stopping the damage from Bozel from stacking up, but she's not that great against the debuff side of it. Though, if she just kills the Bozel when he goes in, that's also an option.
Yeah.
This Bozel can't be too greedy. I think we're going to spend a lot of time dancing around Kyra before this Bozel really tries to jump.
No healer versus Kyra is tough, though.
I think something Chung really needs to watch out for is like Bozel 3C'ing, softening up the Bernhardt, and then Helena engages and he loses burn in the same way he did in the first game.
Yeah, there's like no way this burn isn't dead because he has to bring Guardian Infantry or Dark Guard against Kyra, and Helena I mean, it depends. If Hegemony dispels attack buff, I don't see Royal Cav Helena killing Bernhardt. If it doesn't, it could probably happen.
This Helena's not bring Royals. No way. Yeah. Not in the face of Kyra, Lucretia.
Yeah. She could bring Bone Dinos, and that would definitely kill Guardian Infantry burn. But, I mean, there's no point.
Yeah, it'd be so greedy to do that.
You have a Bozel and Kyra. You have nothing necessitating removing the burn tank other than the Helena herself who died for it. So.
Yeah, there's the angels. Alright, we do have goblins on the Sherry. Legion to help out with those kill thresholds. Mass attack on Lucretia. Mass attack cleanse, actually.
I like cleanse. I think it's good here.
And then Kyra here with Faith just to try and be all in on actually picking up the kill on this Bozel.
Yeah, we did see Myeu had a pretty bulky Bozel earlier, so I respect that. Akira's basic role is to zone the Bozel and get that kill, and then it looks okay for Chung after that.
Right.
I mean, Bernhardt is dead to Kira, though. Well, no, because Kira brought Faceless. Never mind.
Yeah, I guess Kyra bringing Faceless here for better damage on like the Ares if he brought Angels, better damage on the Sherry, better damage on enemy Kyra.
Yeah, Kira very much so needs Sorceress to kill Bernhardt.
Yes, absolutely. Faceless are not going to cut it through any kind of defensive unit. Interesting, there's no Sky Archer on Myu's side, opting for Gospel instead, so no extra summon to hang around, keeping Kyra immobile.
Yeah, Sky Archer is really nice for that. Did Burn bring Sword Dance?
No, Burn brought Guard.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, Myeu did see that behavior from Chung earlier, so yeah. Bit of a read. Knew that the Burn wouldn't bring Sword Dance.
He just cannot afford to bring Sword Dance here.
Yeah.
Helena will kill his entire team if he brings Sword Dance. especially with no healer, right? Helena would just run in, take a pick, and then explode and drop everyone to like 50%.
Well, I didn't think about it last time we were in this scenario, but parry on this map is actually not the worst, because you can block the Helena with 2 units.
That's true. The big issue with going parry sword dance is that you lose rupture, which is where a lot of that damage, a lot of your sword dance damage is off of rupture.
It's like over half of it, I think.
Right, and especially if you get the 3C passive AoE damage as well. A lot of that damage, basically all of that damage is rupture as well.
Yeah.
So like going parry is actually a huge drop in damage.
Yeah. And we have AoE Ares.
Yes, AoE Ares, as long as this Kyra is alive, is going to do absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But if he waits until Kyra goes down, you know, he can try. But like at that point, there's just no one here who dies to AoE Ares, right? There's Shrine Maidens and massive HP on the Liana. Bozel is bulky. Helena is bulky and heals afterward after getting hit. This Ares, it's a last pick Ares for a reason.
Yeah, Ares is basically just bringing AoE to try and get a suck sometime.
Right. That's going to be his best utility here, is maybe pulling someone out of guard, pulling Hilda herself to remove guard, just trying to get some sort of good pull.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if he AoEs under Hilda, you can get something.
Yeah, I mean, if you AoE, that's always a fun tile to AoE from, because the game just starts throwing units places, because it runs out of, you know, there's not tiles adjacent to Ares anymore. It's like I've had someone go all the way down to the bottom of the map when I did that.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, it was an enemy jugler that went all the way down to the bottom of the map when I did that.
Yeah, Ares teleport works in mysterious ways.
It just sent him somewhere else. I didn't have to worry about him anymore. This is actually going in for Kyra here. I think that's the only thing he reaches. Yeah. But again, Kyra just back to full. And then you AoE her again. And back to full. However, you do now get to Kyra snipe Kyra. I think that's more what he was going for, is just fingers crossed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, no, Kyra could have hit any of these tiles at this point. So yeah, this actually guaranteed Kyra snipe Kyra.
Yeah, that was a really good play. Bam. It showcases the strength of Ares.
Yep, just repositioning everyone. Not really there to do damage.
Yeah, Kira going down for Myeu is a big weight off of Chung's line.
And with this particular positioning, Chung's Kyra can also get back into passive guard from the Bernhardt. Either of the other tiles, that would not have been the case. That's super unfortunate for Myeu here.
But this is turn 1, right? Or
this is turn 1.
So Bernhardt did not guard.
Passive guard. She attacks right of the pillar and jumps back to passive guard.
Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking she attacked Luna. Don't mind me.
Yeah, so this Kyra does not get punished at all. Now, because she went Faith, she doesn't have another assassin skill, which means that actually you have to be a little bit concerned about this Bozel at that point. You no longer have a way to just pick the Bozel off if Kyra goes in and snipes like this.
Yeah, there's no... Well, there is Lucretia Puppet. I think that can work. You just use the Puppet cooldown and just run away from Bozel, because it should take him a pretty long time to reach. It'll take him at least 2 turns.
True.
The Puppet should be able to get Kira back up before then.
True. Ares going down here isn't a problem either, because you have Puppet for your own Kyra as well.
Ares got the 1-for-1 trade. It's what he was here for.
Yeah, that's a good last pick in my book. it's not even free to kill this Ares either. You kind of have to like 3C him with Helena. You have to like Shiv 3C, and then that resource is down.
Yeah, there's no way Helena kills with a basic.
Oh no. And there's no way she kills without Shiv either.
I don't know about that. I think she could kill him if she used her 3C.
With 1200 attack? 1270?
I think so. I could be wrong. It might
to
depend
last
on...
rights. Look at the Steel Wings. They have almost 800 defense.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
it's a pretty thick Ares too.
Yeah. Angels are just not gonna cut it from there. Helena herself is not gonna do basically any damage. You have to Shiv here if you want this Ares dead. Because Shiv also breaks his rights.
Yeah, fair. I guess saving the 3C is better.
But again, then your Shiv plus 3C is both down.
I think now with a basic, I think she can go. After this.
After Shiv, Blood Sword. You might be right at this point with the Blood Sword proc.
Yeah, the Blood Sword makes that pretty easy.
Oh,
you could still
gets it with the sweep though.
Okay, she crit too, so I guess
it still wasn't free. Ares is a lot more durable than people give him credit for.
Yeah, I always think of it because Steel Wings are like, they have Gargoyle tier bulk, literally same base stats, and they don't have anything to boost in melee, so I never think they're that bulky, but Gargs are actually, that stat line is actually pretty bulky.
Yeah.
43 HP, like 22 defense.
Yeah, so there was definitely realities in which that Ares does not die there, right? No Blood Sword proc on the first hit. That Ares might just take that from there.
No crit.
Yeah, no crit. The Ares probably takes it.
So yeah, now at this point, Chung probably just sits back, puts puppet cooldowns on Kira, and then Kira is eventually going to kill Disposal, and then I don't see how Myeu wins from there.
Yep. The one thing this Kyra has to watch out for is there is going to be crit block from Hilda when she goes in on the Bozal. So maybe the Bozal's bulky enough to live it, but I really doubt it.
No damage up. Yeah, I can see Bozal living.
She'll have an attack buff thanks to Lucretia Mass Attack. Bozal also has to be careful of just dying to Sherry Shadow Raid.
Yeah, with Sorks, you can't tank that.
Yeah, especially with the Legion on Sherry.
So yeah, it's really tough for Myeu. He kind of can't push up at all. He can move Hilda and Helena diagonal of the pillars, and then like move Bozal where Hilda is right now, and that's like as close as he can get.
Right.
Is that a breeze, Kira?
It sure is. Which means that her crit rate is also just not good in general.
Yeah, it also, I'm pretty sure Meteor deals more damage.
Meteor's 10% more damage up, yes.
Well, you lose 5% hit, but yeah.
Yeah, but Meteor is still more damage.
Yeah.
And then the crit consistency is also very nice.
Yeah, I'd run Meteor here. I've never done that math, honestly, so.
Assassin Kyra with Meteor caps out at 78% crit chance before accessory.
I meant the damage math.
The damage math, yeah. Yeah, so no Meteor drops her down to 71% crit. Probably not skill stones in the weapon and helmet, so that's 70% crit. And then add on whatever he has on accessory, which could be 0 to 15 at that point. So even without crit block, Kyra crit is still not super consistent.
Well, at least soldiers don't have crit reduction, so, and that's what she is attacking.
Yeah. Yeah, Chung's just kind of content to chill where he's at, let this Kyra reset. She'll be back up next turn. He's got plenty of pressure. Myeu really can't move in at all.
Puppet is very fair and balanced.
Puppet is, yes. Yes, Puppet is, it's there. Shiv buff for Helena is now gone, so we've got 2 turns before Helena can do basically anything at all.
My favorite thing about the Puppet is how it can do -1 cooldown 2 turns in a row.
Yep. And it can reduce its own cooldowns, so you can get teleports more quickly. Puppet's just really good, is the baseline. Puppet's really good.
It's even better when you have a Kira.
Yeah.
As if it couldn't be good enough.
Yeah, Bozel had the breeze, but just couldn't do anything with it, so he's just gonna stand where he was, and away goes the breeze. I think basically Myu's only hope right now is this Kyra goes in next turn. She has to go all the way, not quite all the way to Hilda, but very deep in order to hit the Bozel, and then fails to kill. That's basically what they're gambling on at this point, is Kyra doesn't kill Bozel.
Myu's win condition here is that you wait until the fog makes Chung come in the center, and you just sit here.
Right.
But Liana didn't bring Highlands. Well, that's kind of risky against Kira. Highlands definitely tank better. They might still tank. Yeah, that's not a Twilight Star Kira.
Yeah, so. Liana's perfectly fine because faceless.
Yeah.
It honestly looks like Chung might be considering just running out and shadow rating the Helena here. King's Crown and attack buff. If this is prisoner gear, Sherry with Earth Elves, that's definitely very reasonable to pick up a kill there.
On Helena? That seems crazy, but it is kind of a not very bulky Helena looking at it.
Right, she doesn't have a defense buff. She's not got her talent defense. She is on tiles. Angels are still pretty bulky. Nah, not gonna go for it. Honestly, though, you could have just run out and done it and then run right back if it failed. It's part of the power of Sherry.
9,000 HP on that Helena is pretty low, so I can see it.
Ooh, yeah, definitely. I mean, heck, my Angel Sherry has almost killed a Helena from literally max HP on Helena and like exactly 80% Royal Calves, and I took the Helena down to like 7 HP.
Yeah.
While I was still only 5-star Sherry as well. It does a lot more damage. Oh, that's a big opening for the Sherry. What Sherry can do here? Actually, no, she just doesn't have the mobility. That's why you didn't go in. Sherry's actually just 1 tile too far away. So I was thinking Sherry could just run up, basic attack the Hilda, and then run around and Shadow Raid Bozel. And get a free kill here.
She had a breeze last turn, but yeah. I think so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think you were right about that. But it was last turn. Could have gone for the Helena play.
I really think she would have killed that Helena. Especially if it's prisoner's gear.
And if I did play Sherry, I wouldn't use goblins on her ever, so I wouldn't know anyway.
Oh,
I have 40%. I have 40% Jones, that's the only reason.
Yeah. If I actually took the time to max out my goblins, then I could use them on Sherry. So I do have max attack assassins, but I just haven't done that. I just don't run Sherry right now.
Yeah.
Too many things that I need to build.
It's hard these days, man. I wish I had like a 20 unit box or something. When is it like Apex with 7 units or some shit?
Yeah, that would be insane. We would need bigger maps at that point. We
Yeah.
have an act again on the Helena, just resetting that Shiv cooldown. Does drop turn priority for doing that though, but just want Shiv ready next turn immediately.
Something else I was thinking about is what would Apex with no fog look like?
With no timer, people just AFK.
Well, yeah, but it would be interesting, I think.
Kind of, but I've already played games where people just show up, do the pick ban, and then walk away and try and get you to just rage quit because they're not doing anything. I really don't want that to happen with no timer. This Helena does have a breeze, so she is in range where she could like engage on the Sherry, for example. But Burn is still guarding. Puppet rewound Burn, so he has guard available again. So you'd just be hitting a max HP Burn. I think this is just Shiv cooldown act again.
Yeah. And I meant no fog, not no timer. Are you considering the fog a timer?
Oh, no fog. Yeah, no fog is just the exact same thing as no timer. Fog is what makes turn-based RPG PvP like this actually function. Because no fog, you just stand in the back. Because it is a disadvantage to engage. Being the first one is usually a disadvantage.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying. I've never played another SRPG with PvP, so.
Yeah, I've played like some of the Fire Emblem games have tried to do it.
Oh yeah, like PvP in the DS Fire Emblem game.
Right, but if there's not a reason to force you to fight the other person, you just don't.
Yeah, I can see that.
So fog is the reason in this game why we're forced to actually interact with the opponent, and that actually makes the PvP function.
I do actually like fog as a mechanic. I was just wondering what PvP would look like without it.
Oh yeah, I would not be playing this game if fog was not in Apex. Because it would just, again, it just makes the game so much worse. Also, Hilda moves up to block a tile here, but that's going to give Sherry a free act again next turn.
She does have goblins though, and so I don't think she can really kill anything with the basic attack.
You basic attack the Hilda.
Then she's gonna lose her troops, right?
Nope, Hilda doesn't counterattack you. This Hilda didn't bring Broken Arrow. That's actually, that's something that I just realized on Hilda, is in this matchup you need Broken Arrow.
Yeah, that's a nice tech there, I see.
Because what's going to happen is Sherry's going to basic attack your Hilda and then run into your backline, and you can't stop her. Right, you can wall off with Helena if you want to, but then you're just in the same scenario you were before where you're trusting Helena to not die to Shadow Raid. Also, hello, Bozel. And there we go, Bozel takes it. That was Myu's win condition, was Bozel taking this. Helena can come in and kill this Kyra now. Maybe. Maybe Helena can 3C.
Very thick Bogle. You have to build for that. Like, that 700 defense plus that HP is...
And that's once again crit block really shining there.
Yes. And crit happens, you're dead. I mean, even Lando around, that Bozel generally lives with Lando around. Lando in general is pretty good counter to Cure, I think.
The big problem for Myeu, though, and people are saying it in chat, is this Sherry's going to go wild next turn. So Helena kills your Kyra here. Helena kills your Kyra here. Okay, there she goes. But the Bozel's going to die to Sherry.
Yeah, that breeze on Sherry is what actually causes this. If Sherry didn't breeze, then Sherry can't reach Hilda.
Where Hilda's standing, she can easily reach. Because again, she's attacking at 2 range.
No, if she didn't breeze, she has to move around the Helena.
Oh, she has to move around the Hilda?
The Helena.
the Helena. If she went in right now.
Yeah, she would have been. It would have been 7 moves.
But you don't need to go in right now. You can wait. Right? You can just kill the Hilda here, or the Helena here, and then Sherry's gonna jump in here. Although weapon disable on Sherry is kind of annoying. You'll be at max HP, that's not a concern. But weapon disable means no rag, which isn't relevant into Swordsmith, but you don't get that 10% attack. Also gets healed not to 100% though.
Yeah, that looks dead.
That's scary.
I mean, Sherry is a bit injured.
Sherry goes back to 100% once she attacks the Hilda though.
Oh yeah, Gallop, yep.
Or, actually no, she's not. Yeah, she has mixed troops because she's holding.
Yeah, she's holding.
So this should be all in to kill Bozel here. I guess the question is, do you 3C or Shadow Raid him? I think you Shadow Raid him.
She doesn't have 3C, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Alright, you Shadow Raid him.
Yeah, usually if you bring goblins, you don't run 3C.
True. Actually not going for it yet. I guess there's no pressure to do it quickly. This is always the play that you get to make.
Yeah, with where Liana moved, Liana could have moved to the left of Hilda, and then Sherry could have been stopped, but at the same time, you could just go in if you did that.
I guess the one concern is Sherry goes in here, and then on the next turn, Hilda goes above her and rams her into the fog, and also, in so doing, traps her.
Yeah,
like
but
you do lose your Sherry for this, but also if it's just Helena, Liana versus Burn, Lucretia, I feel like Burn, Lucretia just wins.
Yeah, I don't think there's a chance in hell Hilda wins that.
Yeah, here we go. So there's the basic attack, does almost no damage, but you don't care because you're just getting Act again to Shadow Raid Bozel. And not kill him again. This Bozel is just way too stubborn.
Okay, but Myu's lost turn priority, which is kind of awkward. How much HP does Sherry have?
Not enough to live Bozel.
Okay.
Maybe enough to live that. Enough to live that. But she's still dead, and you're now in guard. There's no sword dance.
Okay, yeah.
Burn is not in range to go like basic attack Hilda and then get his 3C passive off. So at this point, this Sherry's just dead.
Yeah, I think Sherry dropped attack buff there, or maybe she didn't have it.
She had attack buff. It was the weapon disable from Helena.
Yeah.
10% less attack.
The 1 in 4.
The 1 in 4 strikes again. Accessory break on Burn. I don't know what accessory this Burn is, if it matters or not. Gets the heal block onto Sherry as well, so 3C from Bozo will clean her up.
It's a weird choice of accessory because it's not Overlords and it's not Boots. So.
Could be like Shin Guards.
Doesn't look like it with 11.8k, but it could be if he's like Aeneas and stuff. It's not Apex Boots.
Yeah. We know it's not Boots because he has too low mobility. Well, no, wait. It's accessory broken. It could be Boots. Did we see earlier if it's Boots or not?
Yeah, no, it's probably Boots.
Goodbye, Hilda. What? That was Dispel that just 100 to 0'd this Hilda. A little bit of RNG and no Thorns proc, I suppose, but damn.
Burn faction buff? I don't... Maybe not great Lancers? I don't know.
Yeah, that was wild. And there's double damage down silence on the Lucretia, so that's not happening again.
And Burn getting accessory broken if his boots actually matters so much because now he can't hit Hilda.
Right, he would have been able to hit Hilda this turn if he is Boots and if he didn't have accessory broken. Which I wasn't paying enough attention early game to know if it's Boots or not. Alright, well what do? Lucretia's not finishing off this Hilda. You can bonk her with Bernhardt, but you're just basic attacking.
At all. Can Lucretia even reach?
I mean, yes, she still has the form range, so she can step over one and attack into Bozil, for example.
Oh, yeah, okay. Not like TJ.
Yeah, Thorns. Did not dispel the transformation. Is it going to be enough?
Should be.
No. 800.
Damn.
Did not dispel defense buff, did not dispel transformation.
Yeah, that looks like all she wrote there.
That is going to be it for Chung. That's just a little bit too much RNG to play into.
Myu's Bozil was just too damn tanky. That's all there is to say.
It is Boots on the Bernhardt.
Oh, man.
It is Boots, and this Bernhardt is incredibly sad because of it. Silence
he-
the Bernhardt as well. Heal blocks, no steel mains don't heal up. Yikes.
He would have killed the Hilda if he had boots.
Yes,
Because
he would have
Hilda-
gotten her last turn before she moved.
I mean, Myu still might win that, but it still sucks.
Heal block on the burn means there's no way. Those werewolves aren't coming back ever. So even if he kills the Hilda here by some miracle, yeah. The fact that werewolves aren't coming back is just dead. Bozil 3C is up again, so you can just throw down on all these units. Yeah.
So these sets were a good example of Bozil OP.
Bozil OP indeed.
As long as he can tank, which, I mean, you need a pretty damn good Bozil, but there is a pretty damn good Bozil here.
Yeah. Hilda drops, but Burn is going to go down to this Leanna. Or Leanna's going to act again, the Bozil. Yeah. And then Burn goes down. You're still heal blocked, buff blocked, silenced on Lucretia, and you can't even get a good attack off.
And the Soul Gather. Just for,
to rub it in. Alright, well, I guess no one can get a good attack off. Doesn't matter though, because the Bozil can just wait another turn and AoE you again and you're dead. This is over.
Think Liana can kill that puppet with a melee?
No. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
The Shrine Maidens do literally one into the puppet.
Okay, yeah.
And the Leanna herself is also not really doing anything.
Yeah, she's doing like maybe 1,000 damage.
Yeah, 1,000 damage total.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. 1,200. That's how much Leanna does with the melee into that puppet.
Okay.
This Lucretia's gambling on not dying here. Gets an int down though, so no damage to get healing off of Dark Reaper. It's just tragedy after tragedy for Chung here. And Bozil bonks again. Puppet dies. Lucretia lives with 700 and is just gonna die to Leanna. Or Myeu will drag it out one extra turn.
That's kind of BM, but okay. Just a little bit.
Yep. Silence on the Lucretia again. That is gonna be it. Is Chung gonna counter BM by going to timer? You bet he is.
Then kill yourself in the fog. Don't give them the satisfaction. No! You gotta choose your own death.
Yeah, that was a lot of things going wrong for Chung that game. Weapon disables at the wrong time, accessory disables. Just unfortunate. Failed to kill the Bozil twice. That's really, you could not afford to fail that Bozil more than once. Once you could kind of get away with, but twice there's no coming back from that.
Yeah, that Bozil was just too tanky. There's really not much more to say. And then, yeah, Chung did not get the favorable hand of RNG in that game. He had a good strat. He zoned Myeu really well, got the kill that he needed, and then it looked really good for him from there, but just couldn't kill the Bozil, which was Myu's win condition.
Bozil just stat checked him twice in a row, and that's the end of that.
Well, thankfully this seemed to get you to the next Apex slot if you're even doing it.
I am gonna be done here, so I'm gonna stop recording.
Understandable.